In the same file, and despite the considerable development of journalism in Algeria, the latter is still almost exclusively practiced in Arabic and French, despite the fact that English is undoubtedly the international language of communication. Algeria blatantly lacks English-speaking media outlets as well as the presence of English-speaking foreign medias. Our own Siham Sado compiled this report for us.
Journalism in Algeria is a growing and developing field, and Algerian journalists are constantly challenging themselves to adapt to the ever-evolving international standards. However, the prevailing languages in Algeria are undisputedly Arabic and French, despite the fact that English is indeed the international language and the tool provided for Algeria to brand itself abroad.
There might be a few, but that actually work in English. I think there's a limited number of journalists that actually work in English in Algeria. It's too bad because, you know, English is a language that allows you to have great visibility, not only in Algeria, but worldwide. And yeah, we probably should work more on our English here in Algeria. There are very few channels, apart from yours, that actually work in English. And I think you should get great encouragement to work in English.
The presence of English-speaking journalists in Algeria to report the daily national news is still rare. Most of them work as a freelance correspondents for international media outlets, whose presence in Algeria is not as strong as it should be, considering Algeria's geopolitical importance in the region.
For the Algerian public, it's obviously Arabic and French, but English could be a great tool to gain visibility worldwide, I mean internationally. You know, Algeria has quite a bad image abroad, and English could be a good channel basically to transmit a better image of Algeria across the world.
Some journalists have shown a bit of pessimism towards the future of this language in Algeria, because they cover most events in French, but still hope more consideration would be given to English journalism in Algeria.
It's the language of the world. And the fact that there is very little news coming out of Algeria has a lot to do with the fact that we have no, or very few, English media or English-speaking media.
As I worked for two electronic media, I met a lot of them in electronic media. But there is other journalists who works in traditional newspaper, in French newspaper or Arabic, but most of them, I think, they are in electronic media on websites.
I think any language is effective in delivering news message. Concerning Algeria, English, I think there is a limited audience.
In fact, English journalism proves to be so important in 2015 because journalists must deliver Algeria's news to the entire world. President of the Republic Abdelaziz Bouteflika charged the government to complete the legal arsenal governing the activities related to the information sector. However, could the government's program include the reinforcement of English in the media world?
And to further elaborate on the matter, joining me live in the studio, Mr. Saïd Chitor, Algerian-speaking journalist. Thank you for accepting our invitation, sir. As a prominent English-speaking journalist, how would you evaluate the English-speaking journalism in Algeria at this very point in time?
Right now, it's quite bad because we don't have enough infrastructure, enough TV channels among the whole range of the private TV channels who got English service. It's quite rare.
Yes.
And the other problem is the fact that, of course, the interest for English is not high within, of course, the public sector and even private sector. Unfortunately, the lack of journalists speaking English is also there. The lack of staff and lack of journalists who are quite professional, who speaks fluently English, who can deliver a message, who can deliver a pack, as we say it in the BBC. And this is the problem is that the Algerians are very keen. They would like to learn. They would like to go for English and they would like to improve their English, and they would like to have really a good journalist who can really do good programs in English, but the means are not there, the channels are not really there yet, and unfortunately right now nothing happening. We hope soon the things will change.
And concerning the potentialities we have, why hasn't the English-speaking journalism in Algeria hasn't evolved yet, despite the potentialities we have in Algeria?
It's due to the different historical factors. Of course, we are not speaking English area. Yeah, we are very French-speaking area, and the interest for English speaking is quite reduced, unfortunately. And due to that, basically the foreigners who are here are quite frustrated. They know there is a huge potential. They know that there is some Algerians who speak English, and they would like to have a translation to most of the news happening. Of course, they go most of the time into some international channels, but international channels are not interested by Algeria. They are interested only if there is a bad news. As we say, bad news is a news. And the other problem is the fact that, you know, the thing is most of the Algerians are looking for better, you know, service in English, but it's not yet there. There is nothing happening.
Exactly. And speaking about that, how would you see the future of English-speaking journalism in Algeria? And could there be a program in place implemented by the government to improve teaching of English?
The potential is there.
Yes.
It's a huge potential. If we talk about Algeria, Algeria is a continent. You know, the distance from here to London is the same distance from here to the border with Asamaqa, with Niger.
Exactly.
So to give you an idea how the sheer size of the country. So there is a potential in the south, in the west, in the east. But I don't know, what is the next program from the government? What the government should do, we don't know right now, because it's a question mark. We're still expecting something's happening. We need, of course, more professional tools, more good service, and of course factual, because, you know, the English school of journalism is completely different, and we don't have this tradition. We have a very French way of basically doing, you know, journalism in Algeria, but English speaking, English way, it's completely. When I say English way, I will talk about what's so-called Anglo-Saxon attribution, how to be factual, how to attribute, to quote other people, to do not mix your opinion with facts. This is what's happening right now. And this tradition in Algeria, we still have it a long tradition. In order to change from the old tradition to the new international way, needs time, needs skill, needs, of course, know-how.
Yes. And
all this, you cannot get it in a minute. You have to prepare it, and you have to basically prepare the path for that.
It's a long-term ambition.